So, I made a video about the Zack Snyder Watchmen adaptation, and it got me thinking about great adaptations of comics. And there's one that when you're talking about Alan Moore always comes up, and it's actually also drawn by Dave Gibbons. It's the exact same creative team as Watchmen. It's famously the only one he hasn't disavowed. And he's bang on. This one got what he was doing completely, and actually used the medium switch to elevate it even further. The Justice League Unlimited episode for the man who has everything. The original comic is one of the greatest Superman stories there's ever been, and it's a treat and a joy to get to see it animated so well. But what is it? Well, originally published in Superman Annual number 11 in 1985, For the Man Who Has Everything is about an alien parasitic plant called the Black Mercy. Alien warlord Mongol gets it for Superman, sends it to him in a box on his birthday, and it wraps him up, trapping him in a catatonic state as his mind plays out its heart's desire. Batman, Robin, and Wonder Woman find him frozen, and they battle Mongol while trying to remove the plant. The fight is shockingly compelling. Gibbons and Moore are so fucking good at this that they make Mongol a truly threatening presence. One too big and too powerful to deal with without Superman. He's inhumanly large, with angular word balloons and confident dialogue. But the meat of this story is in Superman's mind. He's back on Krypton. His parents are alive. He has a wife and a son. But things are odd here. His father, disgraced from incorrectly predicting Krypton's death, starts to run a populist, fascist political movement. The comic is very clearly critiquing the dangers of nostalgia. Jor-El is obsessed with the past and his former glory, driving him to anger and hatred. And Superman's vision is all pointing towards the fact that the dream of Krypton may not be as idyllic as he thinks. As his brain fights the vision, the narrative flesh of the dream comes apart, a realistic darkness invading his world. His cousin Kara is hospitalized in a savage street beating. His father's political cult clashes with protesters as he drives to the Kandor crater with his son to avoid the chaos. And he's forced to, in a scene that is absorbing and emotionally crushing, confront his son with the knowledge that even though he has memories of being his father, loves him more than anything, that he isn't real. And the illusion breaks down. Moore found a way, despite the fact that Superman is so powerful that he can move between the words of a sentence, to interrogate his character, to make him vulnerable, to inject us with emotion and beauty, putting us directly in his mind. What we get next is Superman waking up, in pure rage, again by two masters of the form. The anger is unlike anything that had been seen out of this character before. His exclamation of anger being so loud it knocks Robin over, the words so large it seems to be bursting through the walls of the panel. The rest of the story is Superman fighting Mongol with all the ferocity this issue has earned, and even though you know Superman doesn't kill anyone, that this is just a fight in a superhero comic, it feels really serious, intensely compelling. That's how good these guys are. They wreck Superman's fortress until Robin, Jason Todd, is the one who drops the Black Mercy on Mongol, putting him into a dream of his own and ending the tale. It's a perfect issue, one of the best Superman stories there's ever been. And I love the answer to the title's question. What do you get for the man who has everything? Just some peace, tranquility, and normalcy. That's all. It seems like a rebuttal to the idea that Superman is inherently uninteresting because of his power. It goes into his mind and it says, no, this is a character, and to interrogate him seriously is interesting. More than interesting, it's emotionally rich and kind of sad. But the cartoon adaptation not only matches it and adapts its aims faithfully, it exceeds them where it matters. I'll try to point out even the small changes. They're too good not to dwell on. Justice League Unlimited, the cartoon that this episode is from, is fucking great. I absolutely love it. One day I'll do a full video on it. But one thing I will say about it that you're gonna notice in all the clips I play is that the whole soundtrack is just electric guitar shredding. It is very funny and it's kind of distracting. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, in this version, Robin's omitted. Wonder Woman and Batman arrive on Superman's birthday. And this time, instead of getting him a new type of flower called a Krypton...
Bruce, you didn't get him a gift certificate.
No. Cash.
Instant, great change. I love it. So they find him trapped in the plant. Mongol introduces himself, and off we go. As Wonder Woman and Mongol start fighting, it retains that feeling that she's totally outmatched. Even though this is a kid's cartoon and no one can bleed, It'll make you wince a bit to watch her move around afterwards. It nails this portion right off the bat. Mongol is too much for them without Superman.
He was the only obstacle in my way. The rest of you are already dead.
They retain all the best lines too, and are able to deliver them exactly how you imagined while reading.
Oh dear, is that a neural impactor? I'd advise you to try the plasma disruptor. It's more of a woman's weapon.
Go to.
In Superman's fantasy, things are different than the comic. More tailored to the world of the cartoon show, but also more true to the character. Superman's life in Kansas is accentuated as half of the mixture of the world. He's on a restored Krypton, but lives on a farm, with a wife that's a mix of his childhood love Lana Lang and his current one Lois Lane. He has a son, a dog named Crypto, and he's acting like a father who loves being one.
When you asked for a dog, you
promised to take care of it. I know. Sorry, Dad.
In the comic, it felt much more like an illusion that he needed to escape. But here, you feel sadder for him. That this is what he wants, but doesn't even nearly have. And that you know he'll have to wake up from the dream. The writers of the episode understand that this moment is the emotional linchpin of the whole issue, and the story needs to revolve around it. The fakeness isn't shown through the narrative collapsing and darkening like it was in the comic, but through subtle dreamlike qualities, like a black mercy in a tank, and his Earth father Jonathan Kent's voice coming out of his Kryptonian father Jor-El's mouth.
Go on up with your father, Van.
I'll be along in a few minutes.
Along with earthquakes that no one else seems to notice.
nice place to visit, but Van, did you?
Grandpa!
The scene where he has to tell his son that he isn't real, while emotional in the comic, is absolutely devastating here.
When you were born, it was the happiest day of my life. When I first saw your beautiful little face, your tiny fingers squeezed my hand so tight, like you never wanted to let go. I've watched every step, every struggle. But Van, Rao, help me. But I don't think you're real.
They linger on the tears, drag it out for both of them, so that it truly feels like torture.
Don't say that, Daddy. Please, you're scaring me.
No, I don't want to scare you, Van. You are everything I ever wanted in a son. This is everything I ever wanted in a life.
It trades the comic's critiques of nostalgia for heightened emotional weight.
Daddy.
I promise you, I'll never forget.
This sells the anger all the more when he's awakened. And again, like a good adaptation does, it captures the intent and spirit of the source material. The fight with Mongol is pure rage, completely earned, sold by the animation and the voice acting perfectly.
Do you have any idea what you did to me?
Exactly what Alan Moore was going for. Although interestingly, as an aside, it can't recreate this burn panel.
Happy birthday, Kryptonian. I give you oblivion.
Burn!
I imagined it more like this.
Burn.
But it's just a hard line to deliver, I guess. And the Gibbons panel with the red eyes is hard to match, so I do kind of get it. But the best choice this episode makes is in what happens when the plant wraps up Batman. In the comic, it just does to Batman what it did to Superman. He marries Batwoman, has a daughter, lives his life with his living parents, what you might expect. The story, after all, isn't really about him. In the show, though, we linger in Crime Alley, on the night when crime killed his parents and made him want to punch the shit out of it as a profession. And here, all his vision is his dad beating the ever-loving fuck out of the gunman. He wants his parents alive, and he just wants to watch this guy get pummeled. The idea that all Batman wants, all he's been traumatically driven to want, is for crime to get a beating is just such an inspired idea to showcase like this. It actually finds a way to get inside Batman the way the story gets inside Superman. His childishness and obsession are shown off perfectly. You might think it's kind of funny, and for a bit it is. It's supposed to be sad, yet cathartic and kind of fun. Look at that fucking smile on his face, it's hilarious. But watching Wonder Woman wake him up, hearing her pleading scream enter his dream, it fills you with dread. because you know what needs to happen.
Bruce! Get him, Dad, get him! Bruce!
By the way, look at this slick transition. As we approach the end, throwing the Black Mercy on Mongol, the role originally given to Robin, is Wonder Woman's job here. And it's a great, triumphant moment.
Excuse me. But I think this is yours.
And so you get this great interrogation of Superman as a character, pushing him to his emotional limit in exactly the way the comic intended. It, as a bonus, is able to interrogate Batman as well, and portray Wonder Woman as the ultimate hero of the whole thing. As an adaptation, it hits every emotional beat the original did, maintains all the stakes, the best lines, and adds moments of its own to make the story work in its new context. It forgoes the more political and literary themes, but it invests more heavily in its characters, allowing the two works to stand separately on their own 2 feet, and proving that you don't need to be a full recreation to be a fucking perfect adaptation.